Hi, and welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings with your host, A Punk with Toys, Lawrence. That's right, I'm going to be going all night with my. What the hell? I got a mask on. I'm by myself. No COVID in my house. Well, there might be, but I don't think that there's any COVID in my house. And if there is, well, we've already gotten it. So I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm going to hide my face. There's no reason to, right? We're all a bunch of friends here, right? There's no reason to hide. So I have my trusty notes here. Got the giveaway to get to. But hey, that's not to the 10 o'clock hour. All right? So, 10 o'clock hour, we're going to get to it. I think we're going to have some fun. At least I hope so. And if you guys don't get the joke, then I'm sorry. If you guys are upset with the joke of wearing the mask, then I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I don't give a shit. So anyway, let's just get to it. I got some pretty big news. So let's just start off. The channel, you guys have seen it before. You guys have heard me talk about it. The channel is growing. I'm super excited. These lives were something that I was really on the fence about doing. I thought about, hey, is this something I want to do? Is this something I want to put my time and effort into? Because it's definitely. Is it lagging right now? Hold on. Let's see here. So One Toy says that it's lagging. You guys gotta tell me if it's lagging, because if it is, I can try and mess around with a few things. Kind of gotta look over here. Got a tablet here that has this open because the actual chat moves quicker than that. But anyway, let me get into it. So a couple things. Talking about the channel, it's growing. I talked about memberships. So we got a few membership, a few members, just trying to help support the channel and different things like that. That's it. In pain, it says, and yes, I came to annoy everyone because I'm in every Joe chat. Hey, pain, as long as you're in mine, that's all that really matters. So quickly, we're going to get into this. A few things. Like I said, I mentioned the channel memberships to help support the channel. If you're interested, I'd love for you to join. Again, once we get 8, your little icon is going to rotate on the home screen. So that's definitely going to help out. I'm watching myself over here. I look crazy. But anyway, let's get into some of the people that are already sitting here in the chat. And then I guess I'll get into some other stuff. So we got, PNC, Delfo. Some of these guys are new guys I noticed. Juan Toys and Bricks, he's not. Got 88 Fig. VMG, I just got his name into the drawing. So if you're not in the drawing, you need to speak up. I can probably sneak you in. I did say 8 o'clock. I was cutting it off, but hey, I'm a nice guy at times. We already got 30 people, so everyone make sure you hit that like button. We got New York Night 1974. I don't remember ever seeing you, so thank you for joining. McClocktig, I think I completely butchered that name, which I think I did last week too. Channel member OG Hada. You know what? I'm just calling you digital diarrhea because it's way cooler. Mikey Much here. Will R. Keith Coleman. Payne, who I had already mentioned. Christopher. Ivy. Danny. Big Bacon. I definitely want to say Big Bacon. DJ Fevish, because he's been in all kinds of things. Jeremy Kimberlin. Man, there are a bunch of new guys. Danny of our time. Michael Thompson. Thank you guys all for joining. I'm super excited. I hope I have enough on my show sheet. As you can see, this is not the most professional. This is raw, but I think this is what you guys enjoy. So let's just get into the first big news of mine. And the first thing is going to be, I've kind of been dabbling with this. Finally got my daughter to be able to do it. So I'll just pipe this in here. And that is a merch store. Now, I threw up a couple things. If you guys have been watching the end of my videos, which if you make it that far, God bless you. You have more time on your hands than I do, but I do appreciate it. You've been noticing that I've been kind of changing the logo around. So I threw these up there. You put them on shirts, hats, stickers. I do have the main logo if you want on a sticker. I wasn't going to do it on a hat because or I wasn't doing on a shirt because it's low res, but like on a shirt, like on something like a sticker or something, if you wanted to do, it'd be pretty cool. Now, it's not showing up just yet on the YouTube merch store, but if you go to my, I don't want to pull it up because the picture will start, the video will probably start playing, and then you guys will hear two of me, and no one even wants to hear one of me for the most part. So anyway, if you go to my site on the main page at the top of the screen, there's 4 different links that are in where it says a punk with toys. And you can click on there, or it's also in the description. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to be adding more stuff. Before anyone wonders why I did this, people have mentioned numerous times the Jean-Claude Van Damme. I always point out the Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I call it the Jean-Claude Van Damme. So I wanted to do something like that. And I wanted to have a female and a male. So let's say you really want to get something for your wife because you hate her. Well, this is it right here. And it's going to support the channel a little bit. And right now, if you order anything, you do get 15% off for the next 13 days. So that's the first bit of news. I should probably remove. Let's see. Chad is in. He said he needs a mug now. Chad, I love Chad. He's a good guy. Of course, he gets a Sky Striker, and I didn't get it yet. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the other big news, the other news that I have, and believe me, I honest to God, I found this at like 12 o'clock at night. So here we go. Entertainment Earth affiliate page. This also on my homepage, you can find it. So you order anything from Entertainment Earth. If you click this link or type in ee.toys/apunk at checkout, you'll get 10% off on anything in stock. And after $39, you get free shipping. So that's pretty cool. I found that, honest to God, at like 12 o'clock at night. And then I decided to set it all up and everything. Again, just trying to, grow the channel, do what I can. I think some of the affiliate things bother some people. I'm sorry, but it does cost a little bit of money to run everything. But this is stuff that you guys are all buying. So when you guys go to Entertainment Earth, click on the link. You're going to get 10% off anything in stock. Again, it helps support the channel. If you spend over $39, and let's be honest, to spend $39 in toys is like, do you ever not spend $39 in toys, especially at BBTS or Entertainment Earth or anything like that? Probably not. So we're going to remove this now. So that was it. That's the big news. So I got a merch store, and we got the Entertainment Earth links. Again, you can find the links in the description. Again, there's also the channel memberships if anyone is interested. All of it is definitely helping out, and I definitely appreciate it. Palpatine is in the house. He's one of the channel members. So again, 45 people already watching. I wonder how many people are expecting the giveaway right away. I think I made it clear, the 10 to 11 o'clock hour. And that does not mean at 10 o'clock I'm going to be doing it. So anyway, let's get into a few things. So I think everyone has seen the Sky Striker, that it started hitting, right? Yeah, well, mine came today, but because it seems like I'm the only one in the United States that had to sign for it, it went back to FedEx. I'm seeing people get stacks of 5 of them just left there. Not me. So yeah, mine went back, so I don't get to show you the box or even how fast I may have opened it up. But yeah, so hopefully tomorrow I can stop by, pick it up, and start getting it going. I don't think I'm going to do an unboxing of it because, yes, New York 1001. Now, New York, you're not in it. Did you want to be put in it? Because I really didn't. I didn't see your name, and I actually went through it when I saw you go through. So I just want to make sure because if you are, I will take your name in there. Yeah, but I'm kind of disappointed. I don't know if you saw, if you're on Instagram, you saw my pictures of the 4 other Sky Strikers that I set up on the aircraft carrier. They're just waiting for their new brother to jump on in. So you will see throughout this week some things with the Sky Striker. Again, I don't think I'm going to do an unboxing. Everyone's done unboxings of it. I am going to do a review of the Sky Striker, I think, with Ace and Failsafe, which sounds like an awful name. I don't want Failsafe in the back. Chaz, you always win with me, just so you know. So Chaz is in the house. That is a celebrity right there. So anyway, New York, just give it to me. All right, so Chaz, so New York, he just wants it. Give it to me. I've already won. Okay. Yeah, so I think the way that I'm going to do my reviews, just so you guys know, I'm going to do it on the aircraft carrier. I'm going to compare it to the 30th anniversary and to the OG one. And I think that's going to be different than what a lot of people do. Because I don't know if you guys know this. Have I ever told you that I have not an aircraft carrier, but my childhood USS Flag? I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned that to you guys. So anyway, we'll get into a few other things. So what else has happened here? So it looks like there's a lot of MOTU news. Not everyone is huge into MOTU, and Masterversal isn't even here, which is shocking. He's usually like the first one in, but he's like in, I think, New Zealand. So we hit Toy Habits. They always seem to have, seriously, the best news. I mean, the news that I know I'm interested in. It seems like what you guys are tuning in for. Oh, you know what? We forgot to do the toy pickups. That's right. We totally forgot the toy pickups. So let's do that before we get into this. I have like all this time. If you notice, I'm not the most professional, but I think you guys like that. So anyway, if you guys have been watching, you've seen all the battle ladies that I've gotten. I know this is, I don't want to hurt anyone's feeling. The greatest line ever. All right. So we got Eclipse, who I'm sorry, she kind of looks like a rat. I was hoping she was going to be my favorite, but unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of that face sculpt. It doesn't look bad other than the eyes look too close and just kind of looks like a rat to me. But if you put the Steel Brigade head on, it matches perfectly. So if you want a second Steel Brigade with a little bit of a different outfit, this one's going to fit perfectly for you. Kill Switch, who I think is the best of the line. I mean, yes, she looks like Michonne. Believe me, there is so many cues that are taken. I don't care what anyone says. I think Bobby takes a lot of cues from other properties. But I like that one. Here is the non-menstrual Pandora, because I don't get free stuff. And I'm not paying $45 for some red paint. She does look nice. I don't care what anyone says. I know she looks a lot like that corpse trooper, but she's definitely modeled after Zarana. And then you have the Steel Brigade. So I'm going to mention this. This is a huge complaint of mine. So this AR is too big for them. Now, I understand it's in scale and that women would have to use this too, but understand these are plastic figures. They don't move around the same. as like human beings would. So this weapon is way too big. So if you have this scar, like trying to get it, it fits much better because of where the stock is and how long it is. Now I understand some people don't like it. I think Bobby B made it perfectly clear he doesn't like this gun, but it fits better in their hands. And then seriously, in my personal opinion, the best figure that I got was this Elf. This thing is awesome. If you haven't seen my review, if you like Elf, do go check it out. I mean, he looks just like Elf. All right, awesome. I mean, the paint apps look really good. Doesn't need to be heated. He's freaking awesome. So I think if you're a fan of 80s properties like that, that's something you are definitely gonna enjoy. Give me a second here. Gotta stop the cam. It's kind of weird when you're doing things all on your own. Not what I wanted to do. All right. Keith Coleman. Now, I have not been keeping up with the chat, just so you know. Hide your cat. It's funny that you mentioned that because guess what? It comes with a cat that's ready to be eaten on a plate. And this even looks awesome. Like the paint on this, I mean, has no articulation to it, but the paint on this, everything is so awesome. I'm a huge fan of that. And what's cool, it's just one-off. I don't need a whole bunch of different elves. Like they have like 4 ETs. I don't understand why you have so many ETs. Does anyone really need that many ETs? So, okay. We got through that. Again, sometimes I'm going to go all over the place. But you guys know that. That's what you're here for. Actually, I think most of you, I think 44 of you already are here probably for this. You know, another Snake Eyes in Fortnite. It's funny how many people didn't want this, yet that many people are here for the drawing. Oh, and then this was the other thing. I got to do this. This is going to be the new thing is the Vase of Valahans. And so what we're going to do when we get Valaverse in is we will drop the hands as we slowly build this up, because I can't imagine it's going to take that long to fill this up, right? Although I don't buy like 20 of one figure. I don't know how anyone that affords all that stuff. I see the super chats that they're getting. Like, man, why don't you just go buy some figures instead? But they're throwing super chats like crazy. Then people are like on their sites, on their Facebook sites, showing how many times they super chatted something. Like, good Lord, like that's too bad. So anyway, I'm really sorry about whatever's going on in the chat. I'm totally not keeping up here. Let's see here. B's Battleground. Here he says that scar is all right. It's the M4 with the giant 203 that drives me crazy. I like the way it looks, but I agree it seems a little bit too big. And I think it's going to be awesome. I think I got Mark II toys. I did order the second set that I don't have. He does really, really nice weapons. There is no doubt about that. And again, I am not a weapons aficionado. I have absolutely mentioned that. Okay, so New York is just realizing he is not in. New York, I will make sure that I put your name in. You will be in. I'll add a few people if need be. I'm really looking forward. I hope the first person that lands isn't here, because I want to pull names out. I think it's gonna be so much more fun if there's names to pull out. So anyway, let's get to the MOTU news, or at least figures that are coming out. So here we have another drop. Toy Habits. I don't know who their insider is. If it's Toy Sorceress, but I really like this site. They do a really good job. I wish they did more live streams consistently. Again, what I'm totally noticing, you don't do live streams consistently, you don't get consistent viewers, no matter how big your channel is. And once again, this channel is growing. I forgot to mention 200 new subs. 200 subs this month. So quickly, let me just John Latella, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Definitely appreciated. Everything helps, and I'm glad that you guys are definitely enjoying the content, and then you guys are here every Monday night. And it's just fun. It's fun interacting with you guys. So anyway, Walmart, I guess, has these figures up here. I really do. I like some of them. I know a lot of people aren't huge. Thank you, Michael Thompson. Thank you very much. Quickly, So quickly, when I hit 1,000 subs, this is me going off. You know how I do this, right? All right. You know how I do this. All right. When I hit 1,000 right at the end of November, my goal was to hit 2,000 by the end of 2023. We are at what 1,556, I think. So I gotta say right now, I think we're gonna smash right through that, and it makes me really happy because it just shows that everything that I'm doing. And again, I know I'm not as professional as a lot of these other guys, but I'll talk about it in a little bit. I'll talk about it right now. And you know what? I'm going to read through a lot of these comments afterwards, but I watched a lot of other YouTubers that have more subs. They have more subs than me. They've been doing live streams longer than me, and I can see like my videos are doing better, my live streams are doing better, and I think, and it's not criticizing them, it's looking at them going, I think they do a really good job. And I was speaking to one of the moderator, who unfortunately isn't here because he's at Disney with his daughter. So, but my whole question is like, what am I doing right? Like, what am I doing that you guys like? So I love the feedback that you guys give me, because it definitely tells me that you guys are enjoying it. I want to make this better for you guys, but I don't want to become another show where you just look at it and go, yep, you're just like everyone else now. So listen, you guys want to shoot me an email, punkwithtoys@gmail.com. Tell me what you like in the comments. Tell me. So, and smash that like button. As I've mentioned before, I definitely want to see if we can get more likes than what we did the last year, which I think we ended like 71, which was shocking to me. Anyway, since I've got this up here, I guess let's take a look at this here. Yes, Road Pig outfit is awesome. I honestly, I didn't think I was gonna like it that much. So we get Tongue Lasher, Comic Book Roboto, Hypno. I like these Sunman figures. I think the Sunman figures are super cool. It's something different that we didn't have, and I love what MOTU is doing, what Mattel is doing, where they're bringing characters that were never made also into the line and just kind of inserting them. And it seems like Joe is going to start doing the same thing, which is good because we got to if we want the property to keep going, that's what we need. Snake Armor He-Man, I'll wait till I find this guy for like $10. I'll wait till I get this guy for like $10, but I have a feeling some of these will be going down a little cheaper. I like Tongue Lasher. I always liked him. Probably get Hypno. As I mentioned, anything with like Masters of the Universe, just wait till it goes on clearance, unless if you have to have it. Of course, I have stuff coming in from BBTF. Go figure, right? Isn't that the way that it goes? But it looks like these are up on Walmart right now. Again, this is Toy Habits. You need to be. I think a lot of the stuff that we go over, everyone enjoys. They do a lot of Super 7 stuff. There won't be a lot of talk about Super 7 here. Wait a minute. Wait. Or a catchy name like Punk Island. Yeah. I don't want to be called a CUCK Cuck Island. Yeah, I can say what I want. I haven't gotten into superstars. I think these things are pretty cool. I do like the different WWE stars, the WWF. It'll always be WWF to us. Definitely new unique Joes. I agree. I think it's gonna, and I think they're giving it to us. We're gonna get to that. I actually forgot to pull that up, so I'll have to do that. And here we have more Masterverse here. Even though I'm only picking up the Masterverse when I find them on sale, or if it's one that I really, really want, I will probably pick up CobraCon when I see it when it comes out. Why does it seem like every time on this screen, I think I need a new computer, but we ain't got the money for that one yet. But I like this pig head. I think it looks really good. Like I said, I like the Sunman. Many faces. Dude, what's up with the gun? Like, what is up with the giant gun there? It just looks way, way too big. Now, I don't really know anything about her. Shadow Weaver, I believe, but she looks super cool. And then the Sorceress. So, again, I think Mattel is knocking out of the park. And it sucks that April 1st, MOTU is just gone, just dead. I mean, the guru has obviously told me. Wait, what is this? Let's see here. Punk with an aircraft carrier island. Listen, in my aircraft carrier, if that flag floated and had real missiles and I could really launch some F-14s off it, you know what our first place we'd attack. We'd go right by the Terradrome and Cobra Island and go right after Viper Island and all his bought and paid for subs. So looks like there's a lot of new MOTU stuff coming out. It kind of sucks on Monday. All the toy news has already been talked about. So get off of this here. And I keep wanting to remove myself thinking it's going to bring it up. But I got to remove these down here. They, yeah. That's just me talking. So let's go to Toy Arc. I like Toy Arc. Let's see what they got on here. I like Toy Arc more than TNI News because I swear TNI News there's so many they pipe in reviewers and photos and stuff, and it's like I want to scroll through your news. So this thing here, this big storm looks awesome. I don't think I'll be getting it because it doesn't really it doesn't go with anything that I'm into. But I love the way some of these toys look. I don't even know what you guys know what this is. You guys into this Toy Infinity new Manglos toy line? I'm sure someone will be, and then we'll just move on and act like we. Yes, VGM Studio. You didn't know that April 1st, all of MOTU just ends. It goes away. All you people that backed Eternia. Whoosh. I think there's a lot of truth to what Scott the Guru talks about. In all honesty, I really do, but I think he's also. It is. I believe he set this up to be an April Fool's, and I'm not the first one to say it. I saw that on Tiberian Hanger. He talked about it. And he said, "Hey, I'm not the first one to see it, to say it either." But he timed it perfectly. And again, he really got on this kick, and I don't know why, but he really got on this kick, and I understood where he was coming from. And here's McFarlane popping out some more DC universe. Here's the new Robin, which is on the same body as the female. The female Robin. Oh, guess who just showed up? Come here, buddy. Want to say hi? Come on. There he is. Everyone say hi to Roman. Yeah, everyone loves you, buddy, but I'm busy. Okay? I left the door open so you can come in and out this time. All right. So he won't be barking to get out of here. I don't even know where I'm at. Yeah. So is anyone still collecting McFarlane stuff? I swear, once you start getting into other properties, you realize his stuff is inexpensive for a reason. Yeah, he's somewhat of a big dog, but I'm also somewhat of a small person. He's like 70 pounds. I'm like 5'4", like 200 pounds. So I'm kind of like a big 5'4". You acknowledge Roman? Yes. Well, believe me, if you ever came over here, like he makes sure everyone that comes through that they know they need to love him. Now I like these here. I've heard a few people complain about them. Again, I think I mentioned Jersey Maniac _ collector. I think if you're not following him on Instagram, he's a wonderful follow. And by wonderful, I mean he's the angriest guy in Instagram, and that's saying a lot. But I think some of these look pretty good. And I don't like Aquaman, but I really like Mantis here. I think Mantis looks really good. I think it might be good because you can kind of hide the pins. I could see myself picking him up if I see him. And these are the page punchers, I believe. So, yeah, it's yeah. I hope there weren't any other super chats, were there? I don't want to miss anyone. Then I feel really bad and have to mention you next week, which hopefully everyone will be back next week. Again, 45 people going right now. Thank you guys. I swear you guys have made this so much fun. Look, there went the whistle. There went the whistle. So is anyone collecting McFarlane? I'm trying to read through here. Let's see. 88 Figs says I only grab the bigger monster figs. That's what she said. Chaz is still working off his quarantine weight. I loved quarantine. I ain't gonna lie, man. I made so much money during quarantine, and that sounds awful, but I gotta say, like, I was closer with my kids. Like, we did stuff together. I went and skateboarded, like, with just a few people. I was also allowed to go into the skate park and skate when other people weren't, so just be me and a couple other people. Anyway, and then here's this. Now, if I was rich and had a lot of money, well, if you're rich, if I was rich and had a big place, man, I would. This thing here is absolutely amazing. I'm not into Hot Toys, 12-inch stuff. The only 12-inch that I have, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I could see myself getting the Firefly, and the Roadblock, and the rest of the 3.0 that are coming out. But as of right now, I'm staying away from that scale because, let's be honest, way too much. But anyway, this thing, I always loved this. The way he's walking off. I'm not going to put down the movies today because it's probably easier to do what they're doing and how they do it. But I like the stuff that look more analogish, where he's actually taking the suit off rather than it be all nanotech and everything. So, because now everyone's nanotech in there. So, I think that's pretty cool. Not sure if you guys are really into that. So, not sure what else there was here. And there was something over here on TNI. Oh, there's Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry. You see another Super 7 reaction figure, and I'm like, $20 that you guys just like, people are throwing down the drain. Um, I saw this The Expanse coming from the cell. Now, I started watching The Expanse on Amazon Prime, and it was pretty good, but sometimes you gotta like that type of show, you really need to be into it. Gotta go back and watch it. It was really good to start off. So I'm interested to see how, if these are actual like action figures or how they're gonna be. Because I would love actual Battlestar Galactica ones, and not the old ones, not the '70s, but the new ones. Because I love Battlestar Galactica, the one on Sci-Fi. I thought it was absolutely awesome. Uh, so scrolling through here is Storm Collectible again. Oh, and then you saw this. I was really interested in this. So it looks like somebody can make a Cookie Monster because HasLabs obviously can't. So the HasLab cannot, unfortunately. But hey, what do you know? It looks like someone will get a Cookie Monster. It's just not going to be. What was the HasLab Cookie Monster anyway? Like, what could you do for a HasLab Cookie Monster that would be worth spending your money on that? So that seems like, if you guys like The Expanse, so yeah, I think that would be something interesting when you see how they do it. And then I didn't mention the Marvel. Where are they even on here? I'll get off there. Yeah. I know Marvel dropped a few things. So here's BBTS. I didn't really see anything new. Again, I'm not really going to go over Ghostbusters. I'm not into that. Has anyone ordered this Bishop Hot Toys? My buddy that usually lends me stuff to review. I remember this thing like went up for pre-order. I gotta say, I was very tempted, and even now looking at it, go $90, and it looks really nice. Bishop was always so cool. I've never had a Mezco. I'm still waiting on the G.I. Joe Mezcos to come, but this thing looks really legit. But then I'm gonna find myself going down that Mezco. I think, but I think that's what happens to a lot of people. They go down figure arts, Mezco. So I don't know if anyone else has picked that up. Seems like some of you guys are still talking about The Expanse. Let's see. The HasLab Cookie Monster was supposed to be a 1-to-1 scale. How big was Cookie Monster? How much was the HasLab Cookie Monster? Because I wasn't really looking at other toys other than G.I. Joe at the time. I hadn't really got back into it as much as I have. So does anyone remember how much the HasLab Cookie Monster was and exactly how big was the 1-to-1 scale? Because I don't want a giant Cookie Monster. I have my daughter. Like that girl can eat and eat and eat, man. Talk about being a teenager and just being able to golf anything you want, and then you go do gymnastics and you just burn everything off. That's kind of like being a skateboarder back in the day, and a kid and just doing whatever you want and just burning off calories, eating pizza and drinking Mountain Dew. So anyway, that's it for BBTS. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. Let's see here. I'll remove this. HasLab, they announced all their layoffs. Again, Hasbro, even though we're all kind of stuck buying them. It sucks in some ways. We're all stuck. They have our properties that we like, and I'm glad there's other properties coming around, but it sucks that no one else is uh, laying people off. I'm not a huge fan of the 3POA. You saw the beginning. I kind of spoofed it at the beginning of the show. I kind of spoofed them. I know it's probably going to make some people mad. So I'm not a big fan of theirs all the time, but I do think they give some pretty good information. And one thing that, Bobby had talked about was you don't see Mattel, McFarlane, Spin Masters, Super 7. They're not laying people off. But Hasbro, who's the biggest one, again, it's all this stuff to just for their stockholders. And it's too bad. It's too bad that millionaires and probably even some billionaires that for them to take a slight loss is just it's more important than feeding thousands of people, the 1,000 people that are going to get laid off and have families. So quickly here, Daniel, hey Punk, thank you for doing these giveaways. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciated. Yeah, I don't know why I bought, I had this and I figured I can do other giveaways for other things. But if I'm going to do something where I'm going to kind of give it like a week to build up, I don't think giving like a spirit away, which I think pretty much anyone can get. I'm still not sure how everyone does the giveaways, like Geek Dead Life and Toy Anxiety. They do it where they're able to do it and they put something in the screen. I don't have time to go through all that. Yep, Keith, you're right. It's greed. It's greed. The new CEO has to deliver. Yep, and they're gonna hurt the little people. And again, I mean, listen, Hasbro's not the only one that's done. Unfortunately it's the way corporations work, and it sucks. It really does suck that you have these small companies, not small companies, these big companies, big corporations, billionaires, millionaires, and that's what really matters. And I understand that sometimes you have to let people go. I get it. And we've seen it with the WWF and places like that. They've let people go, but a lot of times they're letting talent go. And there's other reasons for it. Chaz, Super Chat, thank you very much. Chaz doesn't even say anything. You probably try to put a meme in right here, but unfortunately YouTube won't let us put a meme because that would be absolutely awesome. And again, if you're not following Chaz on Instagram, Chaz the Guru, he is the toy meme king. And honestly, it's not even close. I don't know what he does for a living other than make memes. And I made some memes, and you don't make any money off it. So I don't know. Chaz found the secret to making meme money, but he needs to try. He really needs to try. But I appreciate all the super chats. It definitely helps out. So what I was trying to get to was we gotta talk G.I. Joe, right? We didn't even talk other than I hope my dog's not throwing up because that would just be gross right now. You throwing up, buddy? He's just laying on the floor. All right. So I'm trying to pull up 3D Joe so we can look up Helix and talk Google. See, listen, for me trying to type and I got to look over here and try and talk, and I don't have Matt moderating right now, so he's not. Luckily, cross the fingers, since Matt's not here and he's the moderator, we don't have sex bots yet. I'll know I've made it when I start getting the sex bots. Because let's be honest, the full force didn't really make it to those sex bots came in, aka Pat. I think we all know that it was Pat. So let's pull up 3D Joe's here. Again, everything seems to move so much slower when I'm here trying to pull stuff. When I'm streaming, I don't know, go figure. When I'm streaming, it goes slower. Dad, I want to talk Joe's, and I don't just there's not that much to talk about, other than how my Sky Striker got sent back. I mean, why did it take an F-14 that long to get here? It left California. I live in Michigan. That F-14 should have been here in like 3 hours, at max speed. Let's add the stream here, and all right, so we'll look up Helix. Now, I don't know much about Helix. I did remember her, and I don't read the comics. I haven't read the comics for years. Did I spell it right? I'm just gonna move. I really miss. I don't really go to 3D Joe's. I really miss yojo.com. I don't know if you guys what for a good time call the talk. All right, come on, guys. Don't be mean. Listen. We do have some we're gonna talk one mean thing. All right, come on, Agent Helix. Does 3D Joe's not work here? Okay, well, how about we just Google Helix? This one, I totally forgot this, and I even haven't written down on my notes. Come on, someone is prepared when they have a page of notes. Of course. So everything just kind of froze. I'm not skipping, am I? No, actually, I'm looking at myself here. Let's get this off here. Let me move this. I hate when this does that. Hey, wait a minute. Someone was telling me I was skipping. I'm looking at myself right here. I'm not skipping around. I look good. That mustache. Look. Someone explain to me why this side has so much more gray than this side. I don't mind going gray, but why is it only like one side? And to top it off, I get like these blonde light brown streaks, which make absolutely no sense because my hair was pitch black to the point that I had a girl tell me I lied when she asked me in high school if I dye my hair, and I'm like, why the hell would I lie about that? Like, of all the things I'm gonna lie about, it'd be that I'm well endowed. All right, let's see if I can pull up Agent Helix. While we're talking about it, so they did drop that they're going to be doing army builders. Sounds like it's going to be at least a 2-pack, possibly a 3-pack. And it's going to be land and air. So what is your guys' idea of what they might do with that? Because I'm thinking that we obviously got to have some overlays that they're going to use, a jump pack maybe, which I'm excited for. I know some people think that, that they're copying, and whatever, I don't care. You can definitely think that someone is copying. But I think it's cool. I mean, people have wanted Joe Army Builders forever. And if you can believe Super 7 is the only one that's given us Army Builders, God knows they give us a lot. Just they're repaint after repaint after repaint. But I'm excited. I don't know where I'm going to put them. I think I have to start getting rid of. I think I got to start getting rid of some stuff, making new space, because MOTU's kind of running out of space. Classified, I have to create new shelves and everything. But yeah, so it's okay. So, oh hey, I just realized how the star thing works. And you guys don't know because you guys don't see it. The starred comments. If I star a comment, it shows up at the top that I can click it. That's how they do the super chats. Like, hey, look, you guys are all on a ride here. Like, and now I'm all the way. All right. So where the hell was I? So anyway, yeah. So my chats went away. So I gotta look over here. God. So all my chats went away. So now I can't see anything. And as I'm trying to scroll down to get to it. So I will say this. This is what, and I said this, and I made memes about this. It pissed me off that they did a $90 3-pack for the Vipers, which was just one mold, 2 colors. They tried to give us different nationalities, but they fucked that up by having a white neck and black arms. And then I got people that are like, like complaining, on the YouTube video I did. Like, listen, dude, I'm not asking too much to have the white neck have white arms. I don't think that's asking too much. All right. I mean, one of my best friends growing up, one of my best friends now growing up that I skateboard with is mixed. Actually, two of the guys I skate with are mixed. They don't have like a white neck and black arms. Like, I hate that. And then people are like, oh, how can you complain? Listen, man, that's bullshit. Like, that's the type of stuff. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be $90 because they made their money back on that. And unfortunately, when you do what I'm doing, like being a reviewer, that's where obviously I'm growing, that's where I'm growing the most, subscribers and everything. And you don't make a lot of money off YouTube. Believe me, these YouTubers that make money, they're making money off other things. Like what you see, like the affiliate programs I'm doing, like the Amazon that I do, and obviously Entertainment Earth, which I just did, and hopefully we'll see what happens with the, with the merch store, and we'll talk about that again in a little bit. But yeah, so I hope it's not $90 because that's bullcrap. They gave us a few blast effects, which I think were garbage. I only liked, I think, 2 or 3 of the blast effects. I like the smoke effect. And I like the multiple bullets that we're shooting. I thought that was cool. But the other ones kind of look like laser blasts. In my opinion, like the Valiverse ones are perfect. They're small, they're tight, they're right to the point. I don't need to see I don't mind actually seeing the bullet. Like if there's a bullet coming out. Again, this is all in my mind, man. Like this is, I mean, come on, we're doing stuff in our mind. Like we're everything doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm cool with that type of stuff. What the hell is going on over here? So, but I think it'll be cool. I'm looking forward to when he said it's like land and air. Like it makes you think there's gonna be some sort of jump pack maybe to go with it. To me, it kind of seems like maybe that's gonna be a base body for an airborne. I really want airborne. I really want air. Where is Tony Figs at right now? Where's Tony Figs at to show his? If I say, if you say custom like 3 times, I believe Tony Figs just shows up. He does amazing figs. If you're not following him on Instagram, you should be. Tony Figs. I think it's Tony Figs, right? I don't know. If you go to my Instagram, you'll find everyone. Bees. Hey, you mentioned that. What was that? I think it was on the Full Force. I think you brought that up. Like, yeah, where are these hiss blast effects? Like, because they talk like there's going to be something to come with it. Yes, Palpatine, that's right. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the like button. It tells YouTube to push everything out, and I appreciate it. Again, I think we had like 71 when we ended the stream last week, and I'm hoping we can smash right. We got so many people right here right now. I know only 56. We're not like everyone else, but that's pretty good. Like to start off here, and look at this. Daredevil came in and he did it. Custom. So where is Tony Romo? And not that hack that does football games. And Master Versal is here. And we quickly went over the MOTU stuff earlier, but I hope you stick around. Check this guy out. He's fun. He's fun. He's a fun watch. I think his channel is going to do pretty well, to be honest. All right, look at that. 59 people right now. Let's see here. Got my tablet here. I got to restart it. Not restart it, but 56 likes right now. Okay. So what's telling me right now is I look here. We got 59 people. We have 71 entries. We might have a few more entries by the time we're done. So that means there's a good chance that we're going to get to remove some people. Anyway, so now we'll get to Helix. Now, we'll add her to the stream here. Maybe. I don't know much about Helix, but I do have to say, I mean, I knew who she was when they mentioned her. So they didn't mention her, and I knew who she was. And I gotta say, The hair color really, really, really gets me stoked, because if they can do with her what they did with Old Man Outback, oh man, I would be so stoked. And even looking at her right here, like this already has like, look at this, like they could pretty much have the body right there. Look at that. That Rogue almost fits. I can find a new head. Maybe I can do it. I don't do customs. Big Bacon says, if you don't push the like button, the toy guru will end up living on your couch. I have a feeling the guy does pretty well, to be honest. I've learned a lot from him, to be honest. Just about like planograms, is that what they're called? Like, I never knew that stuff. And I was at a job one day and they were printing them. And I'm like, those are planograms. I know what those are. And now when I see them at my Walmart, I know what a planogram is. But yeah. Let's see here. Bees Battleground says, I saw dial tone, so I had to mention it. The head could be good reuse for female dial tone. Possibly. But you know what? I don't have a problem with them doing a female version of Doc or dial tone, but I do want the originals first. Just like the Dawn Moreno, if they want to do her, I'm fine with that. Let's be honest. I'm okay if I don't get another Snake Eyes for another couple years. But like Wolverine, I think we're going to get many. That's for sure. Yeah, Danny, we were talking about the Troop Builder. And again, I hope it's a 2-pack that's roughly the same as the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like $30-$35. It should be. And that's what really pissed me off, because they gave the Marvel guys that Daredevil, Bullseye, Elektra 3-pack, which you're paying royalties on for, was it 65, 69, something like that. And then the property they own of molds they already have. And maybe they did have some of the other molds of that Daredevil and stuff. I don't know. But I thought it was bullshit, and then you gave us like a couple new weapons. I'm not even a huge fan of a lot of their weapons, because some of them, they don't have to be realistic. I just don't want Nerf guns. Like, I don't mind the Viper weapon. I don't have any near me. I don't mind the Viper weapon. I don't mind the Cobra Troopers. Like, I don't mind those. Let's see here. Jeremy says, 75-25 each bullseye was a joke. Yeah. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying that price was not comparative to what it's supposed to be. But anyway, the Agent Helix here, I think she would look awesome. Again, you almost have like the Rogue body. I do want double pins. Since Lenny is copying Bobby, and Bobby made it perfectly clear on his live stream that Lenny is copying him. He actually did say, we copy G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe copies us. Listen, I do think, let's get this off here. I do think that they're all going to take cues from each other. You have to look and see what your competitor is doing and see if you have to one up them. Let's be honest. I live in Detroit, man. And my dad worked for Chrysler, on the line. The rest of my family worked for Ford on the line. And they made shit cars in the 80s. And they just figured everyone would buy them. And once people started buying stuff like BMW Rhino, it really started. I think guys are starting to show up, because what are we about to hit? We just hit 10 o'clock. So now people are starting to show up. Going, oh, hey, because I said the drawing will be between 10 and 11. I want you guys here. I want you guys to hear the rambling, because there's always stuff to talk about. Listen, you guys are watching. I went 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. So, all right, a lot of new people here. Not new people. Let's see here. Hasbro layoff we talked about. McFarlane. Okay, so I was on the fence about this one. Because I was like, you know what? I really shouldn't offend anyone that's come to my channel that has replied or watched it. But I went, you know what? Screw it. Now, I'd have to go find this. I have to figure out that if I'm doing a live stream and if I pull up something, if it's not going to, that it's not going to start auto playing and then you guys hear it, right? Give me 1 second. Oh. Just call him. Just call him.
Roman, come here.
Want to go outside? Go. All right.
Roman, come on.
All right. So anyway, my thing was, listen, I think I'm a pretty nice guy. I want to acknowledge everyone, but hey, if you're going to come on and you're going to say so, then you know what? I guess I just need to do the asshole comments. So if I see an asshole comment on my video, you know, like Toy Anxiety, if you ever watched it, they do sad comments. Seriously, one of the greatest segments ever. They got music that plays. The way the comments the comments that they read, they tell like where it's coming from, and they don't ever say anything on their videos because I don't think there's too many. They don't do reviews and stuff. So I took a screenshot of this, and this was on the Zorana video. So let me see if I can find the picture. I know it's here because I found it earlier today, but once the phone goes off. So anyway, this was on the Zorana review. And again, this is asshole comments. Again, if you're going to be an asshole to me, I have a problem calling you out. So anyway, Johnny Six Killer, if you're in, say hi. He says, the taller one isn't shit. If you really like G.I. Joe, then you wouldn't even be comparing the two. Well, if I wasn't comparing Zorana to the O-Ring, then the review wouldn't also be a comparison. Maybe you don't like the classified, but I'm still comparing the two so you can see what they are. Believe me, there's a bunch of asshole comments that I come across, and I just kind of ignore them. The biggest problem with comments is that when I'll show you guys if it shows up here. So when it shows up, I don't know if you guys can see it but anyway. So the studio will only give me 3 comments, but they won't go away until I make a comment on it, which is good because it shows that I'm making a comment. But let's say someone makes a comment of something that I don't know. Well, sometimes you'll just see the arm that I'll do, the thumbs up, just so I can get that off, so I can get the next comments or get other comments to come up. But that's sometimes why you see that stuff, because I just need to get it up there so I can get it out so I can see the next. Here's the other thing with the YouTube Studio on my phone, which I'm almost always on, is that if I make a comment and then you reply to the comment, and this is why a lot of times you won't see me reply to a comment after you replied to me, it doesn't show up. It shows up in my email. I have to go to my email and click on it, and then it takes me to YouTube Studio, or it takes me to my YouTube, and then I can make the comment. But if I miss it, or if it gets thrown into a couple other emails, so if I ever missed your comments, I almost try and reply to every single person as long as it's there. Jason Patchen, nothing's happening. Just me rambling on about stuff right now. I think we're going to be getting to the Fortnite in a second, the giveaway. Yes, congratulations on those who have the F-14 HasLab. Yes, congratulations once again to FedEx, who has mine, because everyone else didn't have to sign for it, but I guess I fucking have to. So they took it back because I wasn't here, even though I have the little app and everything to do it. So now, hopefully, they will drop it off at the pickup center so I can pick it up tomorrow and start prepping for how I'm going to do my review. So anyway, since there are now 60-some people in here, let's quickly talk about some of the other things that we had talked about earlier. And again, man, now I got to pull it all up. I got to figure out where it was all at. So everyone that's jumping on here now, and I will add to the stream. And I'll become an Entertainment Earth associate. And you can find this, and this will obviously be in every single video. So ee.toys/apunk. We'll hit enter here. All right. And so now anytime that you buy anything using this link or using that address, you will get 10% off anything in stock and free shipping and handling on $39. And what that does is everything that you do, obviously, the channel gets a little commission off of it. I guess it all depends on how much people are buying, how much it's going to support the channel, but everything will go to helping support the channel. And that means getting rid of the Powered by duck there. I eventually want to get that off. Get a regular, get my logo on there, be able to do a few other things, get better lighting. I know the lighting isn't the greatest here. I definitely want to get a soundboard so we can pipe in some sounds. Again, I don't think you guys want to hear me be super professional like so many others. Come up here, buddy. Here, show. Talk. There he is, guys. Here, I know everyone. Here we go. We'll remove this really quick. Hi, Roman. Here we go. All right, buddy. I know. I can't play with you right now. Oh, see, there's the mic. All right. There's Roman. I know you guys all wait for him. And so if you guys don't remember the link, if you go to my YouTube or on the YouTube homepage where it says A Punk with Toys, you'll see it there. And I'm also going to send out, I'll also be in a community post. So it'll definitely be in every single video because, again, if you guys help me out, I'm all about helping out. And plus, again, 10% off. And then the other thing that I did was I opened up a merch store. And you go through here. You can pick out whatever you want. I can add, yes, Rhino, he is a pit bull. A Staffordshire Terrier, full bred from what I was told when I got him. And seriously, just an amazing dog. And if you guys don't have pit bulls, if anyone's scared of pit bulls, bad pit bulls have bad owners. All right. Other than those white, those not the white ones, but the blue nose pit bulls. Oh, those are mean. I got one next to it. But anyway, the merch store. I did 2 different logos here for shirts. If you want your shirts, you can do it on whatever you want. Pick out whatever color you want. 2 different figures here. Here's a female. That's why I have it on the female shirts. Again, if you want to put on your daughter, if you hate your girlfriend or your wife, and you want her to walk around with a Punk with Toy shirt. And then you have the male one. And then down here, if you want to make mugs, anything like that. I used the regular logo that you see. It's a low resolution. Not to mention, I also don't want to get Sunbow or Hasbro coming after me for using this. So, but again, if you haven't noticed, I have also slowly been using this logo more and more, especially if you make it to the end of the video, which again, like I said, if you have that much time to make it to any one of my videos, congrats for you. So anyway, that's for all the people that are piping in right now. Again, we got 61 people. I'm always going to be honest with every single one of you. When I started doing this, I just was like comparing the first classified figures started doing a few other things, reviewing them. It was when my buddy let me borrow his Valaverse figures to review, and that's when I really went down this rabbit hole. And then he had kind of mentioned, hey, you know what, you get monetized, you kind of offset some of the money. And then I started watching more and more shows about how YouTubers make money. You got to give back, right? And that's what I'm trying to do. So I want to be transparent because I don't want someone coming here saying, hey, you know what? Oh, you're just all about the money. Believe me, it's not making that much money. I'm not quitting my day job anytime soon. But again, if I can help you guys out and you guys are helping me out, it's all good. It's good for everyone. Everyone is absolutely happy. So anyway, do you guys want to do the giveaway? Should we get to the giveaway? Listen, show's not done. We'll do the giveaway for the Snake Eyes Fortnite. And I'm not Amazon, so don't expect this to be out tomorrow. All right. It is unopened, if anyone is wondering. It is unopened. Tape is still on it. Brand new. And I'm going to be 100% honest. If you don't have that, I have him back there. Just got to knock over Skeletor. I like his colors. I don't like the fact that the gun doesn't come out, nor the knife, and the bandolier is a little different. It's painted, but the color scheme and everything actually looks better than the original Snake Eyes. So, no, I do not collect the ramen toy figures. You have to really watch. Is DHL still around? DHL used to be absolutely awesome. I used to do some other stuff. Yeah. Let's see here. Chaz the Guru says, can you please open it so we can make sure Hasbro's been figure swapped? Listen, there's no promises that you'll have the right figure, but it has not been opened. That I can promise you, that it has not been opened. All right, so here's what I'm going to say. We're going to do this right now. If you did not put your name in on the video, all right, put it in right now. All right, I know New York said he did it. So if you haven't put your name in, I will start putting your names in right now. So we're just going to do New York. I know he was here earlier. I'm not going to do his full name. Everyone else has a full name. Anyone else? And again, here's the only caveat to it. You have to be in the lower 48. CP, I believe you are in. I believe that you are already in. Listen, I went through every single name. If you put your name on that video, some people just don't follow instructions. All right, some of you guys just don't follow instructions. Is what the problem is. I specifically do it on that one, so I don't get duplicates. I can go through, and I'm not like, oh, they did it here, and then they did it here. So let me see here really quick. Let me star. Okay, so let's see here. Let me start Danny. You didn't put your name in there. Cobra Commander, I think your name is in there, but I would double check because there's another Cobra. CP Toys, I'm almost positive you were in there. I would double check. Christopher here. I know Jeremy was in it. I just don't want people having Cobra Commander, you're in. So I can get rid of you. Danny of our time. Now I'm seeing so many of you guys on a regular basis now that things are just starting to mesh together. So let's see here. All right, so we got Christopher and Danny of our time. So we're gonna say Danny's of Windsor. That was a male strip club that all the women went to. here in Michigan once they turned 19 because you could drink over there. So you are Danny of Windsor's Danny of our time. This is because you guys can't follow directions. You guys get new names, possibly. All right. Chris is just Chris, right? There might not be another damn Chris. Let's see here. I did. My kids thought I made it. So let's see here. It's not the easiest to see all this stuff. And again, when you're doing stuff on your own, you're a one-man solo guy. Isn't that one-man solo? Yeah. CP, I know you're here. I see you. I just don't want to like put people in numerous times. But talk amongst yourselves. It really sucks not having the moderator because he really keeps everything going. I know he'll be in later on, but he's spending time with his family for his daughter's birthday at Thanksgiving at Disney World. Juan, you're in here. I know Juan is in here because that name just sticks out. Yes, I really need to figure out how like the other YouTubers do it. Yep. So Juan, you're in here. Big Bacon, I know you were in here. Big Bacon, I didn't realize you were in the first drawing. So Yep, you're the first one, I do believe. So, and Mikey, did I put you in? Name sounds familiar, but I've seen you. Obviously, you're one of the first people in here today. So, Mikey, I don't think you got in here. Man. Oh yeah, you were number 3. And you all the way up there. Yeah. Is all the way at the top. I know John was in here. All right. So anyway, like I said, if you're out of the country and you win, unless you want to pay for the shipping, you can't do it. Hell, if Bobby Valla is saying that he's not going to ship to Canada, you better believe little old me is not going to be able to ship to Canada or across. It's just too expensive. Hell, it's kind of expensive to ship here. So let's do this right now. We're going to bring in the stream. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to spin. Oh, I also found out like you can put like little logos in here. I was really John, you are in. I know I believe Ball. Did I put you in Baldy Locks? I don't think I put Baldy Locks in. All right, I talk to Baldy a lot, so we'll call her. I don't know how the guy calls himself Baldy Locks. He wears a hat all the time. How do I know he's bald? We're just gonna go with Baldy. All right. Throw the package in the. This is. All right, I ain't gonna lie. This is awesome. Throw the package in the Detroit River if a Canadian wins. Listen, I think that's absolutely awesome. I absolutely love that. Toy Man Dan is in. So now, oops, buddy, I can't do it right now. I can't. Go see Andrew. Go. Hold on, I gotta yell for my son. So I'm gonna put everyone on mute. I think I may have yelled. Did I yell in this? I think I might have yelled. Okay. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Lower 48, you get it. If you're out of the country, if you're in Canada, technically that's out of the country, although Canada is closer than any state to me, but yeah, you know what? They're not letting me go over there. you're getting taken out. If you're not in the stream, you're taken out. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of hoping there's a whole bunch of people that aren't here. Although we got 65 people in, we got 76 names. So let's do the drawing. Oh, look. And Matthew, the moderator, has shown up. It's nice to see you. Hope you're having fun at Disney with your daughter. Everyone wish Matthew's daughter a happy birthday, even though she's not here. Yes. Yes. Listen, if Bobby Valla wins, where's he at? If Bobby Valla wins, if he was in, we could talk about maybe swapping for a menstruating Pandora. All right. So we have 1 minute if it lands on your name. And let's be honest, I think we're going to see if people are actually in, if anyone's here. Look at all those happy birthdays already. Dave Manifold, I haven't seen Dave Manifold make a comment. Now, again, we have 67 people watching. You guys all better hit that like button. Just go look at the like buttons right now. So, Dave, are you anywhere to be found, or did you just not do what I said in the video? I love it. I thought I was very, very specific on what to do, right? Like, I was very, very specific, like what to do, how to, how to get this. So, Dave, we're waiting on you. I'm even looking in here, not seeing anyone. Now, I think we can get the timer out because, like I said, you're gonna get 1 minute. I didn't do the timer this time, so let's get my timer out. All right. Dave Manifold. Dave, going once. Twice. All right, Dave, your name has now been removed. All right. Again, you get 1 minute to 1 minute to claim it. So I like pulling names out of it. It feels good. Next spin goes, and you have 1 minute. 1 minute to claim your prize. How do we start losing people? Oh, I don't even have to hit it. We know Mikey's in here. We already mentioned that Mikey's in here. So, all right, Mikey, you are in the lower 48, right?
It feels like drawing sticks to for what character you play in the play.
Okay.
You're reading it in class.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure you guys all heard my son. He's talking. Okay, so Mikey, you win. All I need you to do is email me at punkwithtoys@gmail.com with your address and everything. And again, as long as you are in the lower 48, hopefully you're somewhere in Michigan. I can just run it over to you. At least we got to remove one name. And look at all the people we got in here. Like, I think I don't want just a gimmick, so much, but I think it was a good way to drive people in here. Listen, I started doing this, the live stream, just over 2 months ago. We did the first giveaway. I did a live stream before that. So 2.5 months. And I think we're at 63 people watching right now. I'm really, really, really impressed. Happy with where everything is going. So, Mikey, again, apunkwithtoys@gmail.com. It shouldn't be that hard, right? A Punk with Toys. I often wonder, how are there over 1,500 subscribers? And I know some aren't complete toy fans and everything, but how do I not even have 1,000 people on Instagram? And why is not everyone on Instagram? Because it's by far the best social media platform, other than YouTube, where I can rant and rave and go on and, and do my thing. So, okay, I'll be interested to see where Mikey I will say that when I when I did that mech hiss, um, the guy was in California. Um, I the only time I've ever seen him comment was on that, which is fine. That's fine. Hey, you know what? It's cool. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, right? Trying to grow the channel. But I packaged that thing, and it was right before Christmas. So of course, when you have two kids, Christmas and everything like that, you're trying to watch fun. Not to mention when Hasbro decided to drop absolutely everything at us. I I priced it out, and it was like $40 to ship that damn thing. And I put it like in the smallest box that I could where it wouldn't get broken. And I'm just like, damn it, you know? Oh, he's in Saginaw. Oh, wait, I think him and I talked. Okay. He's in Saginaw. Well, that's still too far. I won't be driving it up to you. Again, I think you and I talked about my son might be going up to school there, but that's not for another year and a half if he does go. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we were talking. Again, I'm sorry, I get some of your guys' names. You know, you start to miss some of the names, and you forget who so and so is, and some people have a different name on Instagram. Matthew, I still can't say your Instagram name. Although you explained to me the reason why, and it made sense. So anyway, that's our giveaway. Let's not knock over the vase. The vase of Valahans. Look at that. And that's just Valahans. Imagine if I collected Super 7. I could fill that thing up. Well, I just knock stuff over. But it's going to happen now, isn't it? Let's see here. apunkmatoys@gmail. Or it's a punk. Yep, you need the A in there, or else it's never going to come and you're never going to get it. Or if you hit me, I mean, if you have me on the social medias and you don't know, I'm going to get it out to you guys. I mean, I hope that all of you guys have starting to realize I try and be trustworthy. I try and give you guys some good content, stuff that everyone is enjoying. John, you did not win. We didn't even have anyone rage quit when they didn't win. Did I lose anyone at the beginning? It was only I waited to try and get did anyone rage quit when I wore the mask at the beginning of the show? I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I wasn't going to go a whole show, 3.5 hours with a mask on in my own house. But then again, I also dropped my fingers on concrete either to show that they stop when they hit concrete. Is second prize a classified Lady J? Listen, if I was going to give away a classified Lady J, I could probably just send you the $5 and you could find it on Amazon. Now, if you mean the free Lady J that I got, maybe. And there is a possibility there may be another giveaway coming. But I'm not sure if you guys will be as interested in it. But hey, it's all about finding out. I can see some of the people are dropping out here. 56 people. Hey, you know what? Listen, that's still good. Listen, I am so pumped right now with everyone that is here. Let's see if there's anything that I forgot on my notes here. Let's see here. We did the Sky Striker that I don't have because I'm the only person in the U.S. that has a sign for it. We did the Classified. Talked about MOTU, Hasbro layoffs because honestly, billionaires need to pad their pockets. We went over the merch, the channel memberships. Still waiting to get to 8, so you guys can show up and rotate. It's only $1 for one channel, $2.99 for the other channel. Hey, did you get so? the 3 channel members that we do have, I did put out the early videos that I had done. So the 3 of you guys, if you're still here, I know you guys, or some people had watched it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like, it's kind of weird because it kind of it filters up in my studio app, because I can see like that I have it and set for because it's set for members to watch. So it kind of shows up there until the next one goes out. So that we had the McFarlane we quickly talked about. Let's see, Marvel Legends, the asshole comments. I kind of like the asshole comments. I kind of like, you're going to have to tighten that up. Because again, if you're going to come on the page, if you're going to come in here and try and insult me, then I don't really have a problem calling you out. I'm assuming you're not that, I'm going to assume you're not that much of a fan of the channel. Because if you're going to sit here and say that, you know, if I'm comparing the big one to the little one, wow, that really came out wrong. I'm going to call you out. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not a G.I. Joe fan because I compared the two. Listen, you don't have to like O-rings, you don't have to like classified. It doesn't matter. You know what? It's yes, that's what she said. I say that, you know, I guarantee you, when I finally get a soundboard, that will be on there. There will definitely be a that's what she said. Because I'll tell you what, like, I don't know why it is, but if you don't know, The Office did not do well that first year, that first season, even the second season. But it was like 8 episodes for the first season. But my boss and I, we kept seeing like the previews for it, and it was just something that we wanted to watch. And so we were on board from day one. And I got to say, for me, it didn't let down. And anyone that ever tells you that The Office isn't funny, they don't find it funny, the first thing I just look at them and go, you've never worked in an office, have you? Because even though everything is exaggerated, you worked in an office, you can sit down and go, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, just like Office Space. The other one that we talk about, and we talk about this a lot, is Horrible Bosses. Have you guys ever seen Horrible Bosses? That's one of those that you go, yep, I've worked for that guy before. Oh yes, I've worked for that guy before. The one that I know that I have not worked for is the hot dentist that wanted to have sex with me. That one in Horrible Bosses, I have never worked for. Dunder Mifflin. So years ago, my ex and I, we took a trip up to Frankenmuth. That's not just a tourist place in Michigan here, and they have like these outlet centers, and I'm just going through it, and I found this. It's a laptop cover, Dunder Mifflin. And so I bought it. It's literally gone onto like 4 or 5 different laptops. It was actually on this laptop at one time. So I open up. I can't tell you how many people say something to me, like they laugh about it. And one day I was at one of our big clients at the time, and the owner was there, who I don't think he really watches TV. And he saw me open it up, and he's looking at it, he's reading it. He goes, what is that? And I go, Dunder Mifflin. I go, it's a paper company. Now I fix copy machines, right? I fix copy machines, so like I could see his brain going. And I go, you ever watch The Office, the TV show? And he was like, no. I'm like, it's the paper company on The Office. And he goes, oh, I was about to ask you why you're working at another company. And I was like, no, it's not that. It's not that at all. But it was funny because he had no clue at all. And when I say a paper company, he's just looking at me like, do we need to go out and have a talk here? Because, and at that time I had been at the company for 10, 12 years. So it was quite some time ago. I mean, I've been there 21 years. But yeah, The Office is honestly like it's awesome. Like again, if you don't, if you yeah, if you don't like it, I think it's because you never worked in an office. I've got a hot dentist, and she is from Eastern Europe. But do you work for her, and is she constantly trying to have sex with you, and you keep saying no? Because that's where the horrible bosses went. When you went, yeah, okay, I'm willing to throw away my relationship because somehow she got so hot. Not that I didn't think Jennifer Aniston was hot before, but you saw like new, a whole new side of her. I want to see more sides of her. I'm not gonna lie about that. And to think that Brad Pitt like chose to go with that Angela Jolie and then like helped her adopt like 45 kids and then wow, not what I would want to do. So anyway, we are an hour and 36 minutes into this. What else do you guys want to chat about? I have time now. I've gone through my checklist of everything. It doesn't seem like there was a lot of news. I'm sure there's always something more. Have you guys already gone on Entertainment Earth and ordered stuff using the a punk code? Honestly, if you guys do it, I definitely appreciate it. It was kind of funny because I was watching Geek Dad Life and they talked about it. And he said, yeah, Entertainment Earth. He's like, I forgot I signed up for it. And then I saw another YouTube channel that they talked about it. And again, it was 11:30, 12 o'clock on Saturday night. And this was after earlier that day. My daughter had done some of the stuff to make the shirts and everything to get that design because originally that logo just had like a rectangle box and it looked really awful. Like the same silhouette. I can't believe no one's even mentioned who the silhouettes are yet. I'm surprised. Did you guys not realize who these silhouettes are? This one here, again, like it's been in all the videos. I've had it going for quite some time. I've used it on a lot of things. This one was new because I wanted to have a female one. It is a ninja, yes. So you kind of got it right. Let's see here. Daniel, don't you know I only answer questions in super chat form? I thought we talked about this. What's your favorite Outback classified, first or second one? Do you mean so? So that's a tricky question because when you're asking Outback, do you mean yep? So Digital Diary, he nailed it. Yep, it's Zarana. So they need to have a female, and guess what? Not a lot of females have. I didn't want to do GI Joe, but unfortunately, it was before I had the Valaverse women. They don't have drop down hips, so they can't do the Jean-Claude Van Damme, which kind of would defeat the whole purpose. So anyway, I think you mean the Outback like version 1, which hasn't come out yet, or the Tiger Force one. I think the Tiger Force one is going to be better looking than the first one. I forget where you mentioned it. See, this is what happens. I start getting. Oh, I like this. Okay. Let's see here. What was your first board? I'm assuming you're talking about skateboard. My first brand new skateboard was this. Okay. Bill Danforth Mini, because he was from Michigan. Going Super Pro 3 trucks. Elva hardcore wheels with German bearings. And I got it on Christmas morning. And I remember going out and skateboarding it. Going out and riding my skateboard on Christmas morning, which is yeah. on Christmas morning, which kind of says a lot because we're in Michigan. We still didn't have snow on the ground. And the worst thing about it was, um, uh, the worst thing about it was trying to figure out how to get rid of this without. Gotta bring up another. Oh, hi, sorry. The worst thing about it was by the time I got it, the boards had started changing because it had no nose because it was a mini. And then on February, and I know this because it's the day my mom died, February 17th, I went and got a Bod Boyle GNS mini. Had like the little sharks on it and everything. So not even, 2 months later, I was replacing the board because I had wanted that Bill Danforth so early that there was no nose at all and everything, and boards had started to change a little bit. Where am I from? I'm from Mount Clemens, so east side of Detroit. So unlike a lot of people, I'm like 8 miles out of Detroit. Where Kid Rock, who says he's from Detroit, he's like 30 miles out of Detroit. He's in Romeo. So when Kid Rock says he's from Detroit, he's not. Romeo is actually a pretty nice ass place. Let's just say that. Romeo is a pretty nice place. Eminem, on the other hand, he grew up right on the border, 8 Mile. Do you guys know what 8 Mile is? I asked this question because I was in Texas for training. God, shortly after 8 Mile had come out, and one of the guys says to me, he's from New Jersey, and he says, "What is 8 Mile exactly?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's the road." He's like, "But what is the significance of it?" And I was like, "Oh, well, it's 8 Mile. I don't know how other states are. We go by 8 Mile. Well, we go by mile roads. So there's 5 Mile. It starts at 5 Mile, 6, 7, 8, 9. Goes up to like 19 Mile. There's 21 Mile. 20 Mile is considered haul road. There is no 20 Mile. 16 Mile. I'll have to tell you a story about 16 Mile in a second. But 8 Mile is what divides Detroit and the suburbs. And anyone that lives in certain areas on there, if you live on the outside of Detroit, it's awful. It is absolutely awful. Okay, so let me ask you guys a quick question. Have you ever seen the meme that shows Big Beaver Road, exit 69? I have a feeling a lot of people have probably seen it before. So Big Beaver Road, exit 69. And let me tell you something. It's real. The Big Beaver exit, which I get off on all the time. I can really just say that I get off on all the time. That's real. Exit 69 is Big Beaver Road, and you've passed it. So you come to Michigan often because you're not from Michigan, right? I think you're from Wisconsin. I think. Yeah. So it's real. And what makes no sense is that Big Beaver Road is 16 Mile, and then it becomes Metropolitan Parkway at certain points, and then it becomes Quarton. But for some odd reason, someone decided to name it Big Beaver Road through the area of the more well-to-do people, but the exit is 69. Wow, you used to deliver frequently to Oxford, huh? Wow. Yeah. You ever come through here again, hit me up and I will show you where some of the good local toy stores are. Because we got some really good ones, to be honest. Well, I mean, you say it's a cluster down here, and I'm just I drive all day. Like, dude, I'm so used to it. Man, I think it's CPRD out of here. Well, thank you for joining. Hell, it's not even 11 o'clock yet. We haven't even hit the 2-hour mark, but it's cool. I'm glad. Dude. Seriously, I'm glad everyone joined. I can say this is by far the biggest one. But hey, I got time to go. You guys want to keep going? I don't. I mean, I could charge you guys for like an after, um, an after session. um. Oh, Mikey's not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm just saying goodbye to other people. Yeah. So if you ever see that meme, Big Beaver Road, exit 69, just know this: it's real. It's not made up. I drive by it all the time. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I get off on it all the time. And what's even crazy is they just redid 75 because it's on I-75. And again, I would say a third of the country knows what I-75 is. By the Genghis tab. Oh, bill it to the Genghis tab. Not sure what that means. Maybe you're talking to someone else. I don't know. No. It's not. It's PNC. It's not. It's not Beaver exit. It's Big Beaver. All right, because you need a big beaver to get the cars through it. All right, you can't just have a regular beaver. Oh, dude, it's cool, man. Like, listen, hey, you were here from like the beginning. I listen. If I don't kick myself off, I'll be here till my alarm goes off. I gotta wake up my kid. Aren't I a veteran? No, I'm, dude. I've never been in the military. Those people are way more braver than me. No, I fix copy machines, so I drive all day. I've done it for 21 years, and even before that, I drove and did other type of computer work or different things like that. So I've been driving since. I mean, I'm trying to think, like driving for work, probably 27 years or so. So I know my way around, especially obviously Michigan. I don't really go out of state. I don't ever have to go out of state now. Sometimes we have to drive down to Ohio, but that's not really out of state because really we only go into Toledo. Now, if you know anything about Toledo, Toledo doesn't want to be part of Ohio. They really want to be part of Michigan, but Ohio won't let them go. Just like Cincinnati, I think doesn't want to have anything to do with Ohio. They wish they could just break off. Matter of fact, we should just level Ohio and make it a parking lot. I'm in Ohio State. All right, there's a tangent, so I'm going to try and not go on the tangent. All right, so what else do you guys want to talk about? I was hoping that there, so there's another guy here. There's another friend of mine. I've never seen him out in the stream, but anyway, Figure God had posted Pee Wee Herman, I believe, at the Royal Rumble, and then I posted because he posted Pee Wee Herman. Have any of you ever seen the movie Midnight Madness? Now, this is like from '79, I think, maybe a little bit earlier. It's Michael J. Fox's first movie that he's in, and he doesn't have the J yet. Michael Fox. It's hard to find. Disney owns it, but it's not on Disney Plus. But Pee Wee Herman's in it for a short bit. It doesn't have a lot of stars, but Michael Fox, and it is one of the funniest movies you'll ever see. It is. See. So Matthew's seen it. Okay. Okay. So let me explain the premise of it. The premise is it is an all-night road rally, and I love it. I hated it as a kid because my sister watched it all the time. So It's an all-night road rally, and one guy creates it, but he has to try and convince these guys to. He has to convince all the team leaders to come up with teams to compete, and he has this all planned out, and everything works out absolutely perfect, and it is pure 70s comedy. I think it's absolutely hilarious. The Mean Machine, the football players are awesome when they go to Pabst Blue Ribbon. Johnny Fatboy Burger. If you can find it, just watch it and just. I don't drink or I don't smoke. I could imagine watching that and absolutely losing it. But the Johnny Fatboy Burger, like once you see the guy standing in front of Johnny Fatboy Burger, it is absolutely awesome. And again, every single clue, it's hilarious. And then when you see the van with the computer inside of it, it's awesome. You got a copy of it recently. I've had it forever. Got it on DVD a long time ago, and it's one of those ones that I'll never let go because I don't know if you're ever gonna find it on digital. You know what? I know I've probably seen Cannonball Run when I was younger, but I couldn't tell you a thing about it other than the T-Bird. The T-Bird and the amazing mustache of the eye. Why are we still looking at this? See, subliminally, this has been on long enough. You guys all should have bought something, right? I'm not doing that on purpose. I promise you. Let's see here. Yeah, there's some movies I have to go back and watch. Like I watched. I don't think I watched Fletch for the first time a couple weeks ago with my kids because I always like to introduce them to like 80s movies, and I had never seen Fletch. I don't know why. I don't dislike Chevy Chase or anything, and I knew like the concept of it, but I had never seen it. And my son, he found it funny. My daughter, she was on her phone the whole time. She didn't really care that much. But I'm watching Fletch, and again, knowing everything that what it's kind of about. But my son would ask me questions like, well, who is that or whatever, and it's like you kind of it's a reference to I forget like who they were. But I found Fletch funny, and I can't believe I'd never seen it before. Oops. Oh, and so look at this. Well, I mean, he showed up after. So Tony Figs does show up. We said custom 3 times earlier, and you did not show up. Very disappointed. I thought you were going to show up like right away. So Porky's, I had seen Porky's, and that was one of those ones my mom rented for me to watch, not realizing what it was and quickly turned it off. So I don't remember ever going back too much to watch it. But that's one of those ones where it's just like, making a custom. You know what? I need to be like Viper Island. I need to have a P.O. box and say I don't ask for anything, but here's my P.O. box. If you guys want to make me customs or send me figures for free, I'd love that. I love when people say they don't ask for anything, but they have a P.O. box. I don't ask for anything. Here's my P.O. box because I don't want to give my address because someone may show up. P.O. boxes cost money. It's not like I think that's pretty damn funny. And it's even better when Viper Island bought and paid for all his subscribers asks people to send him stuff while not asking people to send stuff. You know what? There's enough guys here. Okay. I'm gonna ask. Are you in the chat? Let me see if I can maybe text him here. Bees Battleground. Are you in? I'm gonna text Bees really quick. Let's see here, because I have I got a story I got to tell about Bees. He doesn't know. But he needs to be in the chat because I need him to be, because it's pretty funny. So let me tell you something about Bee. Does anyone listen to Bee's Battleground or Bobby Bee's Battleground? Really good reviews. Him, Baldy Locks, both do really good reviews. Different than mine, shorter than mine. Shocking, right? Like, who's not shorter than mine? No. Jeremy, no. This is a different story that I haven't told. I don't think I've told anyone. If I told anyone, it would definitely be Matthew. And it actually it almost can sound bad. I know he's gonna listen back to this. So anyway, I guess I'll retell it if he shows up, if he answers. But anyway, so if you ever seen Bees, he does his reviews. They're really good. I mean, first off, I didn't realize. I thought the guy was like in his 60s. He's got like the perfect deep radio voice. If I ever do like voiceovers, if I ever do like intros, I'm gonna say, hey, can you work with me? Give me a hand, because and then I see him. I add him on Facebook, and I'm like, I should have messaged him. Like, is that you who I just added? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I thought you were like a 60-year-old man. So anyway, he does really good videos, but they are the videos where his hands, hands in the, hands in the camera, and like I do when I'm going over the figures. He never shows his face, and that's fine. A lot of them don't, but he goes over. He's really thorough. Again, 10, 15 minute. But I look at his stuff, and I'm like, he's getting. And I even said to him, like, how do you get so many views? He's like, I don't know. And I'm seeing he's getting all these views, and I'm talking to my son, and I'm like, I don't understand how he gets the views. Like, he doesn't do thumbnails. He doesn't like get on camera. He has less subscribers than me. And again, I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to put down him. I'm trying to say, like, what is he doing? Because he's doing something right. And that's how, like you said, with my channel, I want to figure out what are people doing that's right, and is it something that I can incorporate into it? And so I was showing my son, and he goes, he's your nemesis. And I go, he's not my nemesis. He goes, oh no, he's your nemesis, Dad. Like, he is totally your nemesis now. I'm like, no, that's not the point. Like, I'm just looking, like, I look at other people, and I'm like, hey, what are they doing right? I don't want to be better than someone. I want to do something maybe the way they're doing it, because they're doing it that good. But my son has named him he's my nemesis. So every now and then he'll be like, your nemesis do any videos? And I'm like, I don't know. And so I told him, I was like, Jeremy, hell no. You see that guy? His arms are huge, and he's a military guy. Listen, I'm just a short, compact, solid guy. All right. Like, maybe if I'm like rolling, I tell the scooter kids at the park who don't care, they just get in people's way. I'm like, dude, you need to watch where you're at, because you don't want me hitting you. Like, you don't want me running through you. And he's like, and I've had like scooter kids like, if it's an accident, I'm like, no, dude, like, listen, I'm a fucking bowling ball coming at you. 200 fucking pounds. I'm not real fat. I'm pretty damn solid at like 5'4". Yeah. it's not going to be pretty if I run you over. But anyway, so yeah, so my son, he calls him my nemesis, and I just, it just absolutely made me laugh. It absolutely makes me laugh. But then yeah, I'm like, hey, you remember my nemesis? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So I've been going back and forth with him on Facebook or on Instagram or wherever it is, and it's just like, I really want him to be on there because I kind of, I was gonna type it out to him, but it was just like it's just too much to type out, and I really don't want him to come out as, I don't want it to ever come out like we're YouTubers, man. Like there's enough space for all of us. Um, but I just think it's such a funny story. Because actually, how my son, out of all words, like says, you know, the nemesis, he's your nemesis, and I think of that awful Star Trek movie that they did. But no, I gotta say this. So, and I really, um, I do want your guys' input on this. So, um, okay, he says he's not currently. Uh, anyway, so I've asked a couple people, and people that have really got to, they know what's going on, what I'm trying to do, and I look at some guys that they have. All right, so B's back. So let me tell the story really quick. All right, so I told the story. I didn't tell you this. I mentioned to you about how you get so many views, and the reason why this came up is because I mentioned to you how you don't do thumbnails, you don't have a logo. Like you actually mentioned to me about the logos. So I would talk to my son about it, and I'm like, "Oh, hold on." For the people that didn't see the beginning of the show, here, sorry. Anyway, so my son, I would look at your stuff, and I talk to my son, and I'd go, I can't do this. I fucking can't. I can't fucking do it. So anyway, all right. So I talked to you, Bobby, about like how you get so many views, and you're like, I don't know. I just put the videos out there, and I would talk to my son. I'm like, you know, like his videos are different than mine. A lot of times he reviews the same things. A lot of times you get them sooner than I do. So, but your views go like crazy. And I'm like, but he's not on camera. He just does like the hands. They're good videos, but there's no like thumbnails. And I'm like, I'm like, what is he doing? Like to get so many views? Like, what is it? Again, it's not, again, a lot of people on here, a lot of good YouTubers here. And there's enough room for all of us. And my son named you my nemesis. And I'm like, he's like, he's your nemesis, Dad. I'm like, dude, he's not my nemesis. And he's like, oh no, he's your nemesis. And so every now and then he'd be like, oh, how's your nemesis doing? I'm like, and then when you and I started talking, I said to my son, hey, Andrew, I'm like, remember my nemesis? He's like, yeah. He's like him and I have been like chit chatting back and forth on like Instagram and stuff. So I wanted to like tell you like when we were talking, I'm like, it's just too much to write out. And again, I think some people may think I come off as a dick. I'm not trying to be. I don't ever want to be better than anyone to be better than anyone. I want to be as good as someone because what they're doing is so good. But I just think it's such a fucking funny story, and just how my son, you know, saw that. So yeah, so BMW. So if you watch the beginning, I wanted to say at the beginning, you know, Monday Night Toy Ramblings with your host, Articulated Punk. And listen, I know it's not going to go over well, but hey, aren't we all just having fun here? I don't understand why you're wearing a mask. I mean, I heard the explanation. I don't really buy it, but whatever. You know, since I know we have some of the guys in here, let's kind of talk about what happened on through POA. Listen, this is okay. So this is not. Let's try to wrap this up within 2.5 hours. So I know why people like Bobby. Okay, I know why people like Bobby. Because he shoots his mouth off. He says what people. He says what people want to hear, but he comes out here and he listens to what people say, and that's good. It's good to hear. It's good that he's hearing. But I want to say like something like these female. Do you know why these female figures are so big? Because he's told us they are. And then his shills, which I found it funny, they were talking about shills on their show. And I'm like, you guys need a mirror. Because one of you has a figure made. And you did a what's a better value? The Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter or the Malibu Sergeant Slaughter right after the Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter was announced. It wasn't even out yet. We didn't even see it. I believe it was just digital renders. I don't even know how you do that. But so the female figures are fine. They're not that great. I'm sorry. They're not. I don't think they're the greatest figures in the world. I don't know why the line, like why sales did so much. I didn't need 4 females. It's cool to have them. They could have been interchanged and everything. But going back to, there's a couple things here. So I used to run a sports message board here in Detroit. And basically I was just a poster on the message board. And I posted so much that they made me the moderator. And then I got to know some of the personalities. And there were some personalities that I played fantasy football with one of them. And he had the guys I knew best from that message board in it. So everyone really took a liking to him because he's talking to the common people. He got to actually know us. He wasn't just standing up there. That's why obviously where Hasbro is, in my opinion, like those guys are never coming down to talk to us. Todd McFarlane will, but he doesn't do it all the time. Bobby, he's on all the time. So he's talking to the fans. And so people are really liking. And I think it's good, but I also think you need, in my opinion, it's like Donald Trump. And I don't care if you like Donald Trump or you hate Donald Trump. This is not a Donald Trump thing per se, but when you are running a country or a large business or your own company, you have to watch what you say, or at least you should. And that's what people love about Donald Trump. And people say, well, dude, you shoot your mouth off all the time. And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not the fucking president of the United States. All right? There's a huge difference when you're running a giant corporation for the United States of America. Like, you can't do that. All I have to say is there's 2 things. First, like, people hated Hillary Clinton so much that they were willing to vote Donald Trump in. Then people hated Donald Trump so much that they were willing to put a fucking dead guy in. Honest to God, that guy is fucking weekend at Bernie's. All right? There's no doubt that not someone's fucking dragging Biden around. But again, so when you talk like that, you get all these people that jump on you. They're all on your bandwagon. You can't say a bad thing about Valaverse. You say, and I think I'm very honest about everything. I really do. I've talked to Bobby B about it. Like, very few of us are willing to say what we actually think. The other thing now with the females and stuff, and now this goes back to sports, is, and if you don't live in Detroit, then you won't understand, but we used to have, for the Detroit Tigers, Randy Smith as the GM. And Randy Smith gave all these, and I don't want to call them bums because my ex's brother played professional baseball. He was a 4th, 5th starter, 10 years. All right. Retired the year before I met her. So he retired in 2000, I believe, right? 4th or 5th starter, you're still better than almost anyone that any of us have ever played with. So I don't want to call these guys bums, but Randy Smith the GM for like 10 years. He gave these below average players to average players names. And by giving them names, all the people here in Detroit were like, how can you not win with Bobby Higginson? Because he's Bobby Higginson. He's not that good. You know? What is it with the name Bobby? There's a lot of Bobbies. Bobby B's the only one I seem to like. Sorry if I offended any Bobbies in here. But I think like that's really what Valaverse has done. He gave them names. He gave them a reason. So people ran out and loved them, and no one will badmouth them whatsoever. And I don't think you should badmouth the figures just to badmouth it. The whole reason why I reviewed Valaverse to begin with, my buddy let me do it, was because what I had heard was, we're going to get into listen, we're getting into a hate voice in a second, Big Bacon, but you're talking about voice to text. I lost my fucking train of thought. Yeah, because I had heard either Valaverse were the worst figures ever or the greatest figures. It had to be somewhere in the middle. And I liked them enough that I was willing to continue to buy them, and I think they've gotten better. I think the female ones have gone backwards compared to the special deployment. I thought special deployment was top notch. We'll talk about something else. So a lot of stuff happened on that 3POA. And I think when you start getting real personal, that's where you got to draw the line on stuff. I don't know what Lenny's side of it is. When Bobby starts going off and saying he's a liar and all this other stuff, now, yes, he was a little inebriated, I do believe. I think you got to draw the line somewhere because I don't have Lenny's side. And frankly, I don't give a fuck, right? If you don't like the guy, that's fine. You don't like Dwight. You made that perfectly fine. He's weird to listen to because on one second he's defending something that he doesn't like, which in my opinion is how you should be, right? You should be defending things even if you don't like it. Like for a moment he's defending like Super 7, how they're not even laying people off, but then he's bashing Brian Flynn. Now, again, I try not to say too much about Brian Flynn because I do think he's a liar. And hearing him say, hey, well, you know, we were done with the factory, they were done with us. What are we supposed to do? Well, you eat the cost. That's what you do. But I just think that him, and again, that's why people love him. Right? That is why people absolutely love Bobby, because he just shoots at the hip. He says what he wants. He doesn't give a shit because it's his company. Where if he worked for Hasbro or Mattel, he wouldn't be able to. And all that's good, but I think he's lost. And don't get me wrong, he's doing really well. Right? I mean, all right, buddy, get out of here. Stop knocking off. Okay, but knock over everything. But again, I just think when you're like in that position, you need to watch who you're aligning yourself with. You need to watch what you're saying because eventually it may come back to bite you. And you know, I had mentioned, you know, Analog Toys did that Wolf of Toy Street where it was Bobby supposed to be talking to Hasbro and everything. And the person that had sent it to me and the person I was talking to, I said, he's never seen how the Wolf of Wall Street ends, has he? Because it doesn't end well for all his friends. All right? It really doesn't. So if you're saying Bobby is the Wolf of Toy Street and you're one of his people, you better watch your back. And that's just one of those things where you go, you know, and how many times Bobby's already mentioned numerous times about if I sold the company, well, wait a minute, wait, where does that come from? Like, to me, it sounds like you have something in mind. And if you want to talk about how Hasbro, when you talked about, hey, you know what, no one retires from Hasbro. Okay. And if you want to talk about the heads and stuff, I think when you start getting real personal about stuff, Again, I don't know if Lenny actually lied. He said they caught Lenny in a lie. I'm only saying this because this was stuff that was already said. I don't know. And frankly, I don't care. But what's really weird about Bobby is all of a sudden he'll say how amazing that Serpentor is. But then he flips it really quickly and says, they're fucking copying us. But we copy them too. And then Ramen Toys was on it, and Hasbro sent a cease and desist letter to a maker that's doing something with Mask. And Ramen Toys, has I think gotten some of these cease and desist before. They kind of made a comment, and he was like, well, he's like, it is their intellectual property. And he made the comment, if someone came out with Eclipse and called their Blue Moon or New Moon, something like that, and said, if it looked like this, you better believe I'm going to be on the phone with my lawyer saying, fuck that, they need to stop it. Which I don't think people fully understand that. Like, because he talked about that there was a G.I. Joe team, or a G.I. Joe, someone that was doing like imitation G.I. Joes years ago while he was working at Hasbro. And I just think when you're in charge of a company like that, again, it's fun to listen to. But I know, like, when I was talking with some of the sports guys here in Detroit, they got to know me and they trusted me that, like, anything they told me, I was not going to go on my message board. I wasn't going to tell other guys. I wasn't going to go all over and tell people, because it was really none of my business. People were willing to tell me, they were willing to tell me something. Yeah, Jeremy, you're absolutely right. You got to protect your IP. And I don't care if you're, because some of the people in the chat were trying to say, like, some of the people in the chat were trying to say that, you better. No. Eclipse would look like Helix, if that's what you really think. But yeah, like, I don't care how big Hasbro is. If you're using their IP, they have every right and should tell you to stop. It's that simple. I mean, and I think Bobby said it best. Like, hey, if someone was copying one of my figures, there's a reason why the Steel Brigade does not look like the G.I. Joe Steel Brigade, because Hasbro still owns the rights to that design. They just no longer own the name. And that's on them. Like, they shouldn't have let that stuff slide. Like, they should have renewed all that stuff. But there's a lot of stuff. That's why you see, like, Sergeant Lorenzo Stalker. When I heard people saying that when Zorana came out, and people were saying, well, Hasbro's copying off fucking Pandora. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, you're fucking joking, right? Dude, Chad, you and I talked one-on-one for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. What the hell do you think I can do talking with a whole bunch of idiots that are idiots like me? And I sleep very little. I think I have a feeling that most of the chat, most of the live streams are going to go about 2.5 hours. And honestly, when we cut it off at 2.5, it's starting to die, but there's still people. There's still 47 people. This is obviously the longest one. I'm sorry, still the best viewing one that's been going. Dude, hey, you tell me when you want to. Although I'm not doing it until I get my fucking Sky Striker. All right? Because I would be damned if I fucking show up on a stream with you and you're like, hey, look at my Sky Striker. And I'm like, yeah, mine's at FedEx somewhere. And Chad, listen, I watched some of your streams, especially with Jay. You guys go for quite some time. All right, I'm not gonna lie. See, I don't have like a DVR anymore, so if I don't catch Blue Bloods at 10 o'clock on Friday night, I gotta wait till like the next day to watch it. So sometimes in chat, I'm watching your stream and I'm like, dude, we're getting fucking close to fucking Blue Bloods. All right, that Tom Selleck mustache, man, he's calling me. Dude, Hasbro's gotta pay. I mean, dude, super smart of Sarge to have his own likeness, have his own name. That was something they cut that he pretty much cut out before Vince McMahon was able to do it, and to be able to sell. And think about it, the Sarge has Mattel figures, he has Valaverse figures, he has Hasbro figures. I can't say all on the shelves because Valaverse aren't, but all being made right now. So I mean, he's awesome. Like honestly, and we all know I'm not a Sarge fan. As we know, he turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA. And he's actually going to be down the street in April 23rd, the day before my ex's birthday. We went to the toy store. My daughter and I'm like, you should bring your mom here for her birthday. She's like, she won't drive me. I'm like, no, you should tell her, like, it's your birthday present, Mom. Okay, let's see here. What the hell? Yeah, he was a very, very smart man with it. Because a lot of those guys had to fight for their names. Some of them, Warrior, literally had to change his name. With that said, I don't blame Vince McMahon one bit. I don't blame him one bit. All right, Matt, you're out of here. Everyone say goodbye to Matt. He is the moderator. Just so you guys know, I want to say this right now. We still got 45 people, and I will mention it next week. I'm assuming he'll be back. Matt's the moderator. I mean, eventually, if we continue to grow, I'm sure we'll have more. What Matt says goes. Like, if you guys are out of line, and we have not had anyone out of line. So I don't even want to think. I don't want anyone to think that. But whatever he says goes. Him and I talk an awful lot, and there are some guys that kind of cause some problems. And listen, I watched Nick Nimmin. That's really where I learned a lot of like YouTube stuff. And people ask like, "Hey, what do you do when you get a guy that's like really?" He's like, "Dude, just block them." He's like, "I don't need them. I don't need that crap going on. It just adds to it." So just so you know, in the future, again, I don't think we don't have anyone out of line here. But what Matt says goes. Like if he blocks you, he's not going to block you right off the bat. He would put you in timeout. But the core group of guys that we have right now, but I think once we start getting these sex bots, that's when we know. I was like, God, I hope the sex bots don't show up today, man, because he's not here. So, you want more about the 3PO? Again, it's just I think again they talked about shows. I found it very comical. I believe I made my point. I know I've talked to other people. I used to really enjoy Articulated Ninja. Unfortunately, to me, he's become a shill for Bobby. Again, I don't dislike the Valaverse figure. I buy them. All right, and I have a feeling that eventually I'll probably get blocked that he won't sell the stuff to me, because he's talked about how he's done that to people before. But Articulated Ninja, he was the first one to really have an opposing opinion. He coined Valablind. And again, I don't have a problem with him doing the 3POA show, but once Bobby started like saying his name and he started he's showing up on his show, Bobby's obviously sending like free stuff or sending it quickly. He got the Bloody Pandora, which went up the moment Bloody Pandora went up for sale. Like the video was done. Like you've seen Articulated Ninja stuff. He's not getting them done as quickly as I am because they're really produced nicely. I'm just a raw motherfucker here. But every single video like leading up to it, he constantly has to bring up Valiverse or Bobby or the girls. Like, why why do you have to bring it up? Like, I know I sometimes will bring it up when you're comparing them because you're comparing the two different types of figures, but I'm not bringing up like Super 7 because they're completely different there. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, unfortunately, a lot of the people, and how if you go on like the Valiverse Facebook pages, now there's all these memes of Lenny, and it's like, wow, you guys really, you jumped on someone that you know nothing. Like when we all jumped on Viper Island, we all saw what Viper Island did and kept doing. It wasn't a one-off. It wasn't Viper Island did something and a toy kind of mood came out and said, oh, he did this. And everyone's like, oh, well, how do we know this? We could see what he fucking did. And then, hold on, buddy. Give me 1 second here. I got to call my son. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if my son, this dog wants to go in, out, in, out, in, out. Let's see. So let me see here. So I like Articulate Ninja. I'll be honest, I started watching him because he told the truth about AF series 1. He's definitely fallen in love with, and that's exactly my fucking point right there. I remember him doing the video and everyone blasting him. And he did a video and said, 90% of what I said, maybe even more, was positive. That's how I feel I am when it comes to like reviewing this. Like I feel like I'm pretty damn positive. And that's how I felt like when watching him. And he's like, you guys are attacking me because I think he talked about the wrist breaking. No big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal that you have to heat the figures up. There's a lot of figures that need to be heated up. The problem came that Bobby said, like, you won't have to do this, but you had to. All right. And then he talked about not having the sidearm or some sort of weapon to come with the troop builders. But again, to me, like, he's become to the point where now it's like everything, because Bobby now likes him, like people feel like they cannot. I have a hard time like watching any of their reviews or what they have to say and thinking that they're going to be objective. And that's the point that I don't ever want to get to. All right. I want to be at the point where I feel like I'm at now. I feel like, and again, my videos are long-winded. I get it. I don't have to show you my face. But I think like me doing that really brought people in. It brought people in to get to know me, get to know my sense of humor, my character. So when I did start doing the live streams, yeah, it started out slow like anyone, but I've seen it. I mean, it's growing. I mean, it's grown to a point where I can do 2.5 hours like I am right now, and we still got 40 plus people watching. Now I know that's small potatoes compared to a lot of them. But the question is, how many people care about G.I. Joe, Valiverse, and MOTU? I don't know. I mean, I watched Geek Dead Life. He gets over 500. They have like over 500 people watching. I love the show. I think him and John, like Jay and John, have a wonderful relationship. Great chemistry. It's awesome. And one of the things that they do, and this is one of the things when I asked, like, hey, what am I doing right with my live streams, with my video? What am I doing right that people enjoy? That's the biggest thing. And, the guy I was talking to said, he goes, you don't try and jump in a whole bunch of stuff. People can tell that you have passion, you have a knowledge for stuff. And you're very raw about things. And I can tell you this, like, as time goes on, yeah, there will be more There'll obviously be a little bit more professional stuff. But I can tell you this, like I've watched Nick Nimmin is who I watch. Usually Saturday mornings. Absolutely wonderful. Helps with how to stream, what people want in YouTube, how to make your channel better, how to grow it. He's like, dude, no one wants a 30-second or a minute intro. It bores people. No one wants it. Like, just jump into it or have a really short one. Now, the one that I will disagree with is a Toy Anxiety, because that song is super awesome. I don't know if you've ever seen Toy Anxiety, the song at the beginning. I'm kind of disappointed when I miss it. Sometimes I just go back to listen to it. But there's just a lot of different things. And again, I think I'm going to keep it. Again, I want to know what I'm doing right. I want to know what you guys think I could do better, what you guys want to see. And again, I don't think people want to see a really produced show. You know, obviously, like I said, I like to get a soundboard, do some fun stuff like that. But yeah, you know what? So okay, so Lee, I am with you 100%. Having a co-host works. It helps tremendously. And I did the first couple, and we didn't have a lot of people. I think I got a mustache here in my mouth. Okay, so having a toy. I want to say this right here. Dole is awesome. The guy is hilarious. When he did stuff where he like put his face on Jay's head with his family, so he can get his cyborg. But anyway, Lee, so what I was saying is like having a co-host, I agree. And I'd thrown it out there, talking to a couple people. One of the things I kind of wanted to do was see if I could do it alone. I'm a big fan of Jim Rome. I don't know if you do sports, you watch sports. Jim Rome does a show on his own. And he talks about it. And it's hard to do a show on your own. And the first few shows, I was really starting to realize, like, all right, I think I need someone to bounce stuff off of. And Matthew, who's the moderator, he said, stick to your notes. He said, you got to stop paying attention to everything in the chat. Let the chat talk amongst themselves. Peek into it at times, talk about it later, but stay on your notes. And that's what I started doing. I started staying on my notes, going through, you know, some days it'll be a little bit more, not professional, but more, I'll have things lined up a little bit better than other times, you know. It depends on how much news is actually out there. But I found like staying on topic, going through my notes, while letting him moderate and kind of keep the chat going in, you know, the space that we want it to. Then I can chime in, or he can send me a message and say, hey, you know, talk about this, say this, whatever. Like, it's little things like that. But I agree, like a co-host it really works bouncing stuff off. I think Jay and John from Geek Dead Life do a wonderful job. I think like I like Toy Anxiety, but again, I think 4 people is really where it should be. I don't have a problem going on a show with six people if it's like a one-off. But I can tell you this: when I did a Toy Kind of Mood, when there was 6 people in there, it's really hard not to talk over each other. Where I think 4 is a much better number, and honestly, 2 or 3 is obviously going to be a little bit easier. And if you watch me on Toy a Toy Kind of Mood when I was on it, I didn't, not that I bit my tongue to say stuff, but you want to make sure like you're not talking over people, so people don't think like, dude, Tony, we had so much fun. I agree, we had so much fun, but it got easier when there was 4 of us rather than 6. I think you would probably agree. I think when you have like 6 people, you start to talk over each other, and it gets difficult. Because let's be honest, I mean, we all have big opinions. Like if you're on YouTube, you have a big opinion. You want to tell people, because guess what? None of our fucking spouses, not that I have one, other people, spouses, kids, they don't give a shit about fucking toys. I talk to my kids, And after a while, when I see I'm boring them, then it's just becomes kind of fun to bore the shit out of them and just make them go mindless when, like, because my son will talk to me about video games. I'm like, oh, go ahead, you know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have 6 people on, it's really hard, but you want to get everyone's opinion on it. But you have to kind of watch it and not overstep people. And again, you're not like raising your hand. It's just like people start talking. Where I think 4 is a much better number. 2 is if you have good chemistry. One of the biggest things when I thought about if I wanted to do a co-host was you got to find someone that you're going to have good chemistry. Because 2 things are going to happen. If you don't have good chemistry, either your show sucks or you're probably going to ruin a friendship that you've made because you're like, listen, yeah, our chemistry sucks here. Like, our chemistry sucks. Well, what is this? I've had nine people on my channel at once. It's kind of 9. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. In 9, like how I'm kind of complaining about 6. And even look, like even Tony Romo agreed, and honestly, agree. Like the way you said it, it's exactly how that hack football announcer, like, he agreed that interception was bad. Agreed. I had to get my dig in at Tony Romo. But yeah, it's like, again, but I like being able to do this single, like just solo. If I can continue to do it, then I'm gonna push through. It seems like I have enough to talk about. I mean, we went through all the toy news. Matt, thank you for joining. It is late. I think we could probably be wrapping it up soon. We've been going over 2.5 hours. But I love seeing you, man. I love seeing you here. You are always welcome. That is for sure. You're another guy that's in a lot of different chats. Yes, I am a pain. Believe me. Yeah, it's not even that. Listen, there's a lot of guys I would like. I think like Tony and I think we have really good chemistry when we talk. Listen, I've talked to Chad numerous times. I think Chad and we could sit here and talk forever about shit. But again, you have to work everyone's schedule out. But again, if you really do risk losing a friendship, if you're like, dude, listen, my show was going really fucking well, and then I brought you in as co-host, and now you suck. Now there's like 20 fucking viewers. So it's hard. And again, like you may be going back and forth with someone, and you're like, hey, let's talk about doing a live stream, and then you hear them talk, and you're like, you have a hard time putting together an actual sentence. I mean, how do you tell someone that? It's difficult. And again, if you have like 4, 5, 6 people on, you don't have to rely on one person. If you have 2 people, you guys better have really good chemistry. You can have 4 people and 2 people may not have that good of chemistry. It doesn't really matter all that much. Toy Anxiety, I think they do a pretty good job. But again, on Toy Anxiety, you have the girl, you have her husband, who is obviously, he's the one who takes the brunt of everything. You have Jacob, who just kind of, he's a talker, but I look at him as the bouncer. And then you clearly have Dole, who is the fucking Joker, who, if you put fucking Dole with Scott the Guru, I would fucking watch it, because he's going to be absolutely fucking hilarious. So anyway, we're going 2 hours and 40 minutes. I feel like every week I'm like breaking my last record. Let's see here. What are we up with likes? Smash the like button if you haven't. I can't believe I said that. I hate that. 76 likes. So we have a new record, that's for sure. I know we had more viewers than ever before. I'm hoping that we can keep this going. What is here? Let's see here. Chad says, so Sunday the 26th, you and me, we're doing this. I will check my calendar. Let me see what I have. Articulated chat, episode 5. It really shouldn't be an issue. How long do you want it to go for? I got to finish by 9. That's when Geek Dead Life comes on. Just kidding. All right, Chad, let's do it. Let me just make sure that I don't have anything going on, but it's Sunday. I normally don't. I don't even have my kids or not. It doesn't matter. My kids do whatever they want. They're old enough to do that type of stuff. So it's kind of weird looking saying, it's kind of weird saying, oh, I'm seeing the chat going down and we're still at 36 people. It may not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but man, let's answer a couple questions. Matt, man, you're not here. I don't answer questions unless they're in a super chat form. I'm just messing with you. How about all these classified figures for 2023? I'm going broke. You know what? I'm with you, but I'll tell you what, I've stopped army building. I don't know. I think it was on one of these that I talked about. I'm going to stop army building. Yeah, Chad, I think I do. Honestly, not to pat myself on the back, but I will. I agree. Something has. I got the snowball going, and I'm happy. I'm happy. I enjoy this. It is fun. When it's no longer fun, then I guess I'll be like some of these other YouTubers that we're seeing that are leaving. Matt, what you're saying about if you can buy just one of each, then I think you're good. But hey, listen, let me save you some money. You see the scroll at the bottom here, Matt? To anyone else that's still here that doesn't know yet, I now have a code for Entertainment Earth where anything in stock, you will get 10% off. That was my little plug as I'm about to go. Also, we also have a spread shop if you're interested in any merchandise. I should probably do my own commercial, which I do have an idea for a possible comedy commercial. Not a real commercial. We're going to see. I'm going to see, but I can't really let it out yet. But I'm going to try and do a commercial that I think you guys will find pretty damn comical if I'm able to do it. Unfortunately, there is snow on the ground and it's like 27 degrees here in Michigan. But I just have an idea that I think will be fun. And if I can do it, hey, listen, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like perfect. It can be fun. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, those links though, if you are interested, they are in the on my YouTube here. Let me see if I can get this to come up without. See if I can get it to come up, so I can show you guys where it's actually at. If you start to hear, oh, Roman does not like where they're at. Listen, he cannot see anything. He cannot see anything. And he'll just bark out of nowhere, just absolutely out of nowhere. All right, so here on my channel, it always starts playing, and so I'm going to try and avoid it playing. Okay, so it tells you I'm live right now. Oh, that's pretty cool. I never pay attention because I'm live. All right, so let me add this to the stream really quick here. It's hard to see, but here, that's where the merch is, and that is where the Entertainment Earth is. So if you are interested, if you're going to order something from Entertainment Earth, and again, there will be links in every video because, again, it will help support the channel. If you click here, it'll take you to the Entertainment Earth. If you click here, it'll take you to the spread shop where you can order anything. And again, I am going to try and do other like drops and stuff. And again, the reason why I did this, if anyone is wondering, is I always talk about the Jean-Claude Van Damme. And so I kind of wanted to give something that it has to do with it. And right now you get 15% off anything that you order. And then here, again, if you click right here, and there are links if you go in the description, you can see here it says a punk. So you'll get 10% off anything that's in stock and $39. Anything over $39, you get free shipping. So just a little bit to support the channel. Again, stuff you guys are probably already doing. Obviously shopping at Entertainment Earth. But anyway, we're closing in at 3 hours. I think we should call it. I think I may have buried myself. But who knows? I'm happy. I like what we're doing here. Again, still got 32 people. This is the longest that this is the most people we've had as we come to a close. So anyway, anything else anyone else has to say, speak now or forever hold your peace till next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No code for Dork Side. Look, it hurt. That hurts. That hurts. Yeah. So Dork Side, everything is free right now. What does Dork Side look like anyway? I think it just says Dork Side. Dork Side toys. Let's take a look and see. Dork Side toys. Is it just like a dead URL? Oh man, they've killed the URL already. I really like Dorkside. I don't want to go off on it because we'll be here for another 3 hours and some of us have to work in the morning. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'd say, hey, next week we'll try and go a little bit shorter, but you guys seem to like the long live streams. If this thing keeps going, maybe we can do something where it's like, do like a 24-hour live stream. Yeah. Here's an idea that I had. 24-hour live stream, maybe around like early November. All super chats go to like Toys for Tots, something like that for kids. Because you know what? I'm able to provide for my kids for Christmas. There's a lot of people that can't, so it's a long ways to go. But it's something that I kind of had an idea of. And you can bring people in and out. I don't think I could talk for 24 straight hours, but I think we could bring people in, and hopefully by November, channel's going to be that much bigger. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys. Thanks every single one of you guys for being here. Let's remove this so you can see me as we leave. Anyway, yeah, Anthony, let's figure out something. Yeah, let's figure some. Hey, you guys have your own channel, man. You guys have your own channel. I'm still trying to figure this out. Like, I don't want to agree to a second complete channel so soon. I'd eventually like to maybe meet a girl and have a life. It's been 7 years. I don't think it's gonna happen. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys all for staying. 31 that are still left, the 70 that were here, or whatever. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. I'm sure I'll be chatting with a lot of you guys in the near future. Take care, guys.